Hello everyone, very good day. Today we are going to discuss on test-driven development. It is one of the framework or development standards which we follow in software engineering. Let's deep dive into the details of it. So what is test-driven development? It is a workflow where we can write tests before we code and then write a piece of code and make it pass. This usually called as red-green cycle or red-green-refactor. So if you are writing a feature, write the possible behaviors or test scenarios like 10 to 15 scenarios. And then you write a piece of code to just make one scenario pass and then go on to second, third and complete 10 cases. Now, doing this process, you refactor the redundant code, revisit the design and goes on. Red. What is red? Write a small test for a piece of behavior that doesn't exist. Run it, it will fail. Fine, let's leave it there. Then what is green? Write a minimum amount of code that makes the test pass. Don't worry about the or code refactoring. We will do it during this cycle. Refactor. Now that we have the test is passed, it is also safe. Now clean up the redundant duplication and then improve the logic if possible and rerun the tests. Why people uses it? It forces you to think all the scenarios before we are writing the code. In general, what we do, we write the code. Once we complete it, we will give it to the next cycle or to our QAs or the testing process. So given we have a regression suite created strongly, suppose if we go for test-driven development, all the regression suite will be created strongly. It will help us in the long term. It will also help us to think the bigger picture instead of having the whole bigger picture in the mind and writing code. It will go piece by piece and we will refactor it then and there. So when we have the scenarios ahead of the coding, we will have a documentation well written there in for our project. What are the common pitfalls? So when we writing several features and then circling back to test it, so it defeats the purpose because we do the testing ahead of writing the code and after writing the code we are doing it. So there are some trivial things like getter setters may skip the refactor step. You could accumulate the tests are passed but your code could be messy in some of the times. So there are some scenarios where if we miss some edge cases. So these are all minor pitfalls. What I would suggest is like adopt test-driven development. So it will enhance for sure. There are common pitfalls mentioned here. We will overcome these when we make ourselves strong in test-driven development. So this is one of the concrete example of test-driven development. First, red, we write the tests and run it. It fails. Second, green, we write a minimal amount of tests for the method add and then it passes. So now I go and refactor the actual method. So this process repeats until we have a cleaner code, finish all the features. And I would suggest test-driven development will add more value to our project. Thank you for watching Intrinsic Intelligence channel. Please do like, share, and subscribe so that will give us some motivation to produce such knowledgeable and insightful content. Thank you once again and have a very good day.